Um, yeah, do feel free to add any questions anytime in the Q&A or the chat session, whatever. So it's kind of fairly free flowing, not kind of rigid, this is what's happening, whatever. So feel free to ask whatever you like, whenever you like. My background as well, kind of, I've been network side as well, a long time ago, back when the earth was cooling, with a network called Byte, if anyone's old enough to remember that, of course. Since then, I've been client side. In the past few years, we've been building this platform here, which enables you to find affiliates. We have a really deep integration with Affiliate Futures platform, which is great, and then enables you to see huge amounts of data and information about potential affiliates you might or might not have on your program. So we'll just have a quick dive in there and see what we can find, if that's okay. Currently, we're looking at Qatar Airways because that just happens to be one of the two we've got here sat in, and it just makes sense. It'd be lovely to be able to fly somewhere and go on holiday. I don't think anyone's kind of seriously planned anything massive that I know of. Anyway, I know people have. People in the States just seem to have kind of, they seem to be traveling anyway, and they're holding affiliate summits across there in July, I think, and then again in November, if I'm right. So they're all flying around. I'm not sure if I fancy going around an exhibition hall, everybody in masks, and you don't know which ones had a positive flow test that day. But there you go. Let's have a look and see where we can fly this year. Qatar Airways live program, great fun. On a personal note, it's one of the ones I would choose because my daughter lives in Sydney. So there you go. Let's see what we can find. And you can see within the platform here, when you go to My Affiliates, you'll of course see a different view. You'll see your own program. You can see there across the top here, we see the status, whether they're new or whether they're joined or pending or live on your program. And we can see the categories, which might be technology or business or whatever it might be. The name of the affiliate, which may or may not be their website, it's normally just a name. And then the relevance to your own program. In this case, ignore the relevance because we don't have our own program in here, to be quite honest. So it makes sense. It's just a kind of a notional one. Then the value, which is a really powerful one, because what that does, it enables you to see how each of those affiliates performed across the whole of the Affiliate Future network. So if you flick that on its head, you start to see, yeah, so all the usual suspects start appearing: coupon follow, top cashback, Quidco, Daily Mail discounts, honey. Yeah, that's all the kind of things you'd expect. And then things like Skimlinks, which were kind of like a secondary network. So if you're in the fashion sector, they could be very powerful for you. But you can get an idea there of kind of how relevance and total score works, so that the value is really powerful stuff, because it shows that these guys are actually kind of making big commissions across a lot of programs. Top cashback, equally good. And Quidco, I saw a bit of a spat going on between Quidco and Top Cashback recently in the news, which is quite interesting. Might be worth following.
Yeah.
So yeah. But that's the way it goes, isn't it? Yeah. And then you've got all the discount ones, and it takes a while before you can get down the list to someone who's actually about travel. So it's a lot of the stuff, as with a lot of programs, it's the 80-20 thing. So if you are kind of if you're finding that there's only 20% or 10% of the affiliates signed up to your program are delivering traffic or delivering sales, you're not alone. The rest of the world gets exactly the same. So especially if you're new to the affiliate. I would say that in some instances you will find it might be 3 or 4 are delivering 90% of your traffic. It is important to keep recruiting and keep trying to dilute that, because if going back a long way, in 2011, there was a wonderful Google update, which basically meant that all the coupon sites were absolutely ditched on the backsides. And I think My Voucher Codes Co UK lost 92% of its traffic overnight. So if you're highly reliant on cashback and coupon sites, I would have a look for some other sites to kind of to make that a bit more usable, and actually kind of protect you against those kinds of things happening. So in the kind of, if you're looking at travel, you might think, okay, let's have a look for some purely travel sector affiliates. You'll get some people in the flow who will be that, but there you go. You've got people who love savings, as you'd expect, but you've got things like Campsites Co UK for Qatar Airways, maybe not. Staff benefits could be useful because that's a different type of thing. But then you've got kind of things like Views on UK, the Man in Seek 61, absolutely great for the travel sector. I would strongly recommend him as a potential one. Doesn't look like as much traffic, but it's highly focused. So you've got to think in terms of that kind of stuff that, yeah, big traffic is great. But bear in mind that all the ones with huge traffic, one thing I got from James Little of Top Cashback was that key times of year, they get between 4,000 and 6,000 recruiting emails from advertisers per month. So that should concentrate your mind. If you're not getting responded to, that could be why. And it might be just some poor intern that's kind of plowing through an inbox for join our program. So it's worthwhile kind of looking at that and thinking about it. So whether there's a travel, Colin runs a great site, and you can visit the site there, or you can invite him to your program. That will open the dialog box so that you can actually invite him directly through the Affiliate Future interface. I'm not on there, so I can't do it, just it ends up with the nonsense. But you can go and visit the site, check him out. Yeah, good stuff. And on our own blog, we had quite a nice conversation with him last year. It was kind of a Q&A kind of thing, talking about how he's managed to pivot away from pure travel to staycations and things like that. But a really great site, and I'd thoroughly recommend it if you're in the travel sector. I think most people we've got with us today are retail from the look of things, but you get the impression anyway, you get the idea. So it depends on, doesn't matter what sector you're on. I would also suggest that if you are kind of looking to connect but haven't managed to connect so far, it's always worthwhile kind of flicking down and following them, because if an affiliate sees that you are following them, they'll have an idea. If they don't know who you are, it's probably worthwhile setting up a brand underscore affiliates Twitter handle and following on Twitter from your brand affiliates, because they will. So if Qatar affiliates follows Where There's a Travel, Colin's going to follow him back because he wants to know what's going on, why he's being followed. Because after all, it's social is where most people have their interactions nowadays. Email is great, far more formal, but you'll be checking your social accounts maybe 10, 20 times a day for when there's things happening or somebody follows you. So affiliates are doing exactly the same. And if you think in terms of that kind of stuff, that rounded approach about communicating on a wider basis, that's important. Affiliates are people, so treat them as people, not just a name in a list. It's quite deceptive to be just a list in there. So that's kind of my thoughts there. You can favorite them. So yeah, Man in Seek 61, I like the look of him, and Where There's Travel, and you can actually click on that one, and that adds that into your favorites so that you can come back to them later. You can talk about Aberdeen. You can see that one there, Where There's a Travel. We've clicked on Mark as contacted because we sent out an email at some point or other, and we've added to saved affiliates. That will become a bit more obvious kind of in the next iteration. We've updated our platform, but I had a massive problem with the version of it about half an hour ago. So we've been trying to revert back to the previous version so I could actually do this demo for you. So that's always the problem when you're building new tech kind of on the fly, as it were. One of the new things we're just integrating, which I shall give you ever a sneak peek at, is this little tool here, which isn't live yet, but what it does do, it shows, ooh, yep, there's 3 contacts. So there's jobs, submissions of Kirsten, probably not Colin. You see that they're on AWIN Trade Double. They're also on Affiliate Future because we can see them on your network, but they might be using a hidden link. And we can see there's 3 of the partners they're connected to. So you can get a bit of an idea that they're connected, but also decent traffic. And there's your social accounts. So he's also fairly active on Instagram and Facebook as well. This is in beta, so it could be why some of the stuff's missing in there. And you can see what country they're based in. But it's a little sneak peek there for something for the future. I think we're due to launch that next week, so have fun with that. And anybody can use it, not just when you got a subscription. But it does mean it's really simple to dive through this lot. And if you wanted to find stuff, for instance, that's specific to your sector, then use these little category buttons at the bottom here. If you wanted to be more general, and so for instance, Qatar Airways, you might think in terms of something that maybe a bit, I don't know what else it would be, but if you were in say, fashion, for instance, you might think, okay, let's have a look at something like home and garden as well, or health and fitness, because people who like fashion, they also have houses, and they also dig the garden, and they also may well have kids. So think about kind of looking around your verticals, and not just bang on the exact one. So it's kind of worthwhile. With travel, you're pretty much stuck with it because that's what it's all about. But there you go, there's stacks there. So that should keep you busy for a good hour or so, recruiting that lot onto your program. Bear in mind also, there's a nice bit of research I saw recently that if you invite them once, they may miss it. And often it's the third email or the third contact that actually gets the connection. So don't despair if nobody is responding to you. Sometimes you'll get 3%, if you're lucky, of people that you recruit actually respond to you and join your program. So just keep it up and think of it as a sales process. Think of it as a relationship. So you've made the kind of if you take it back to dating, so you sent the email, so you kind of said, yeah, I'm interested, but then I was going to say stalk, no, it's the wrong word, but if you find the person at say travel browser, for instance, if you look at travel browser in LinkedIn, find the person who's connected. If you find somebody on there who's connected to somebody you know in the affiliate industry, it's very likely that they'll be the affiliate contact. So I would say use LinkedIn and actually just kind of click on their profile, because when you click on their profile, it's very likely they'll see that you've clicked on their profile, which is also a cool way of semi-connecting, so that when they get the email from you, they'll understand what's going on. Right, they want to talk. It's all about kind of, in the dating thing, yeah, you'll join the same tennis club, or you end up drinking in the same pub, and you get together and you start work together. Great. So it's exactly the same with recruiting affiliates. You just need to be kind of thinking in terms holistically about how you build that relationship, and it is a relationship. Okay, so off the soapbox and slash rant. Within the Affiliate Future interface, there's also the ability to go outside the network as well. And we've got some other little tools up here, which you might have clicked up and still get a horrible little message which says you need to open an account, which is a bit crap. So what this does, this enables you to have a look at a much broader section. So we're going to change that wording, because all that happens is if you click and say, oh yeah, I'd like to do that, and you add it to your account, what it does is it just adds to your Affiliate Future billings each month. So it's not as though you go open yet another account with somebody else and another piece of software. It's very simple. And I've clicked on it before, so I can't unclick. And you can choose your vertical. What do you think we should go for, Chloe? And you can choose from 80.
In retail. What should we do?
So there's fashion, or there's homewares.
Yeah, homeware's pretty good. Home or garden, somewhere along those lines.
Home or garden. It's May time. Yeah, admittedly, most of the stuff in my garden got frostbitten over the past week. Yeah, so we'll go for a bit of gardening, and boom, and you can see there that on kind of most of the levels, you've chosen your vertical. You can choose it once a month, so you can switch over. So next month, you might want to go for furniture for next month if people are starting to get ready for autumn, as it's only just finished being winter. But here we're looking at gardening, and as you can see there, we're looking at relevance. So these are all the affiliates, and we're looking globally. And it'll take a little while to resolve that number, but it'll kind of look at huge numbers. What we do in the rest of this platform is we look at all of the networks in the whole world, and we look at every single networks. There's about 420 network tracking domains we index at the moment. We see about 3.5 million affiliate websites linking through just over 2.7 billion links to 567,000 advertisers. So there's quite a bit behind this deceptively simple looking interface. And you can see there's 9,000, and you're going to get stuff all over the world. So yeah, a lot of it's UK, which is great. We obviously do a lot more gardening than anybody else in the world would appear to be. But you can choose by country specific. So you can say, just have United Kingdom, and you can see there, if you wanted to know United Republic of Tanzania, you can, but I think we might give that one a miss for this morning. And you see there what it does, it filters down those 9,000 and it loads in the background. It starts loading for the first 100, and then that will resolve to a bigger number. So you can see there, all slap bang on the money if you're involved in, so the organicgardener.com, Anglian Gardener, that's pretty specific. You're talking about kind of 2 counties. And when you click on that, you can see there's an awful lot more information appearing here. So you can see there that, oh yeah, we've got some sites, contacts, networks, partners, keywords, affiliate networks. They're on Affiliate Future, so great. So if you've not seen them because you haven't seen the name, it could be because they signed up to Affiliate Future with one of their other websites, which might be Cool Antarctica or Cool Galapagos. So you can see there's loads of stuff going on there. We know that because they're using the same Google Analytics account, which is quite fun. So that way you can get a bit of an idea of who that person is behind all of these websites, not just a list. So you can see there you go. So Paul Ward obviously gets about a bit if he's been to the Galapagos and Antarctica as well, and got some maps and pictures going on. And you can click on that, and I can't remember if it goes through your system, Chloe, or whether clicking on that would just kind of.
I think that one just sends an email.
Yeah, that means you can click on there and copy the email address, or if you click on that itself, that will open your email client. I won't, because it'll just send up Apple thingies going all over the place. And you can see there you can mark them as contacted. Yeah, boom, and that will put a little tick in the list there, so you can curate that information. You can also, if you wish, you can start looking. Okay, added notes. Yeah, so recruited on the. No idea what date it is, 6th of May. So there you go. I can't even type. Gosh, it's been a bad morning. So there you go. That's saved, and that will appear in your notes. So there's notes and recommendations and all sorts of fun going on here. So save that note. One of the other things you can see here is that you can see what other partners they're connected to. So there'll be a few kind of odd-looking ones because they happen to be tracking something in Thailand. God knows what it is, but there you go. But there's Art Republic, All Outdoor, Crocus, Gardening Direct, UK Tools Centre. So they're linking through to all of those kinds of people, including your wellies from Pavers, I would guess, and yeah, your waterproof coat from Rohan for when it rains in Britain. Boy, does it, yeah. So you get a bit of an idea of kind of exactly what they're doing, who they're linking to. So if they're linking to your 3 direct competitors, you think, okay, I need to know what's going on, and they should be linking to me as well. So it just gives you a bit of depth of understanding of what each one of those affiliates is. Where there's social stuff in, now she says she's Canadian, primary markets US. She appears in the UK possibly because she'll have side traffic. So it could well be that there is side traffic which is UK based. So it might be that when you go to the affiliate site, it will have kind of 3 flags on. So US, Canadian, UK. So don't discount it because it says Canadian countrywoman. Or the other kind of massive outlier we ever found was a Polish site. It was something unpronounceable. It looked like an optician's card, .pl. So definitely Polish. Was on a Polish IP address, written in Polish. All of the links were UK networks, UK programs, because it was for the Polish community in the UK. So don't discount them if they don't look at UK based. So really, really simple then. So you can go through, do that. If you don't want to do kind of price comparison, you can click on the little eyeball and that will hide that so you don't see it again, unless you want to bring the hidden publisher back in and unhide them. And you can click on that and it brings it back in as well, of course. You can sort by traffic score, which is a traffic score we bring in from SEMrush, which means that you go and do it again, spend another subscription on there. So you can see these are all by the highest traffic ones. But having seen the comment from James Little that all the highest traffic sites tend to be very difficult to recruit, what I might do is I just top and tail it, because if they're getting 6,000 emails a month, let's take it down to 94 or something. You get the mid-range traffic sites, which means they're the ones that are probably more likely to respond to a recruiting email because they'll get less. So it's all about kind of slicing it around and seeing how it works for you. Where you've got something like, I don't know, Redos News, you see there's 9 contacts there, and it might be, if it's editorial, it sounds like it's kind of a news site. It might be worthwhile looking to see who in LinkedIn or something, to see who the commercial contact is, rather than being one of the, something like one of the writers, or the, so Todd F might just write about whatever it might be, Ruidos, whatever they are. What price? We can see 4 on there, which is quite cool. And these email addresses, they're all GDPR compliant, so you're quite safe using them because they're pulled in from an API from hunter.io. So articles, Article City, or Ali. So it might be worth asking Ali which email they want things sent to add to programs. And again, we can see what affiliate networks, and you also can see what keywords. If you want to go through that list and just find the ones who are connected to Affiliate Future, you can do. It could be others who aren't necessarily connected to Affiliate Future as well, but and it could well be that modernshopping.faithweb.com doesn't show up in your Affiliate Future account when you try and find them. But that'll be because they may well have other websites or whatever, and they may have put 99 other sites there. So it could well be that they've got other stuff on free servers and all sorts of stuff. So it could be they've signed up to the network with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other websites, but not this one. But we've seen that there are links on the page. So we see, there are 4 networks and there are 10 partners. So exciting ads for sale by owner, sellers wine club. So you can actually get an idea that, all right, they're on the network, they just have a different name. So if you email out to them or if you contact them via social, whatever it might be, or via the website, then it could just be that they've joined up with another website, but not that one. That's particularly exciting for brands, like say Mulberry handbags, for instance. Somebody will sign up saying, I'm a lovelyfashionblogger.com and whatever it might be, but they'll also have maybe fashioncodes.com or something as well, but they won't put that in their network details. Or they might be flicking through that from something like Skimlinks, which does happen, of course. So often these guys don't particularly want to have, someone like Mulberry doesn't want to have cashback on the program. So you can see it's really simple to slice down and find some kind of low-hanging fruit that can be really useful. If you just want to see the ones with contacts, with email contacts, you can flick that, and that will just remove all the ones without. So guides for brides, good time of year for that. Maybe a bit late, I don't know. But you can see there's 19 contacts on guides for brides, and they also have weddinginformation.net, which is quite useful. You can also look at your competitors, and we've got some in there. So if you're in that space, Topshop, maybe. Zara still going, I think, and John Lewis. I think Topshop's still got a program live. It's just being run under another guise, a bit like Debenhams is now run by Boohoo. So so it's still there, it's still live. People are still buying stuff online from them. And you can see we bring 3 in there, and there's 1,200 results just from 3 programs. We know they're live. We know all of the ones on this list are affiliates because they're using affiliate links, because we see them where they're linking. Even things like Blue Water, which as a shopping centre, you'd think that's very strange, but in reality, you'd understand it because they've had to be closed for most of a year. So all of the stuff that they were earning from rents and whatever, they're now making from affiliate commissions, which is quite cool. And they're signed up to over 100 programs. I don't know how many exactly, but our app might tell us. It should resolve onto something soon. No, it's not showing up because it's not in the public. It's because all the links are on something somewhere else connected to it. You'll also see things like Bitly appear because somebody doing an email campaign or doing stuff through social might well shorten the affiliate link using Bitly. Of course, the first place we see it going into the network is from bit.ly. So Bitly isn't an affiliate, just loads of affiliates using those links. The rest of them, as you'd expect, the kind of people you think about. If you're going for high value, high traffic sites, you might think, okay, let's go for the more relevant ones, and that'll bring up the more relevant sites as well. I would kind of exercise caution with things like Hinckley Times and Scunthorpe Telegraph, because they're all part of basically, I think, is it Mirror Group newspaper, or one of those newspaper groups. So it won't be anybody at Hinckley Times or Lincolnshire Live. You'd need to speak to whoever the publisher is and the commercial contact at the publisher. So that's just a kind of a thing to remember on those kinds of occasions. And it's literally is that simple. If you found that, we've clicked on them, and we've marked as contacted, and you can actually mark them as kind of people who've joined your program. So if it's connected to your own program, we'll identify that particular one is joined or live on your program as well, because this is just as kind of a temporary account. It's not really connected. Once you've got those guys in there, you can also add your own website, and we've got Qatar Airways, so there'll be absolutely zero overlap, of course. But what you can do is you can search for those and then add in Qatar Airways or Affiliate Future, for instance. So you can see who's connected to Affiliate Future and these 3 fashion brands. And so you can actually see who's connected to it and where the gaps in your program might be. Takes a little while to load that because it's actually processing quite a lot of information, as you probably guessed, even though it's kind of looking nice and clean and open. While that's rolling, that'll be rolling in the background. I'll show you the notes bit. So when you make notes on things, you see there, oh dear, in 4 days time, I get my new broadband. I'm getting a pipe to direct, what do you call it, direct broadband, so rather than going to cabinet. So I'm looking forward to going up to 74 meg. So there you go. We put that little note in there. Recruited 6th of May. So you see, you can curate those things. So even if you change the competitors each month, all the ones you've added notes to, they stay in your platform. So you can keep control of those and keep an eye on it. I'd hesitate to look at the recommendations because, oh yeah, I suppose that's fine. On Qatar Airways, Glasgow Airport, and you can see that it actually makes recommendations of how appropriate ones for you. So each month you'll get a different set of recommendations as our data updates. So if you've got your own program, really worthwhile getting this involved as well. It goes from as little as 60 a month, so it's really worthwhile adding that. And all you need to do is add 2 new affiliates a month, and you're absolutely quid in. And you can update, upgrade, and downgrade to whatever you want. So you can look at 3 competitors for 60. If you're coming in as from another network, it'll cost you 99. Or if you want to have, if you're an agency, you want to have completely unfettered access, like I would normally have, and you can change your vertical and you can change your competitors all the time, then that gives you nearly £400 off the usual retail price of that. But that enables you to kind of really kind of dive up and down. And if you've had a recruiting spree over 2 or 3 months, you can then flick back down to a free plan again and just go back to the internal analysis that you see in the My Affiliates at the beginning. Hopefully that all makes sense and kind of helps you. If you've got any questions, do feel free to slip them in the, I'm not sure if there's any questions have arrived as yet.
There's a Q&A chat option if anyone does have any questions, but I feel like we've gone pretty in depth with everything there.
Okay. And if you just want to reach out, do feel free to connect on LinkedIn. Happy to connect with a surname like mine. There's only 3 of us on there. 4.
Exactly. I just had a question just regarding the payment side. So yeah, everyone has on Affiliate Future has the My Affiliates tab included in their account free of charge. And then to access the vertical and the competitors, that goes on to the paid plan starting at 60 a month. So that's regardless of any contract with Affiliate Future, that's going to be the same with everyone. But as Chris said, you can do it for a month or 2, flick back down again. Yeah. It's completely up to you how and when you want to do that. Yeah.
I would also offer, if any of you wants a kind of a live demo just on your own thing, drop me a note, and I'd be more than happy to give you a one-on-one going through your own program and compared, so just so you see what it looks like before you take the plunge.
Yeah, definitely. Feel free to reach out to Gav, myself, or any Affiliate Future contact as well, and we can put you in touch with Chris. But yeah, brilliant.
Great. Well, thanks very much, everybody. Thanks for your time. Half an hour, so you can spend the rest of the day recruiting affiliates and hopefully starting to make loads of money now that the world's opening back up again.
Yeah, definitely. Perfect. Okay. We have recorded the session as well, so we're posting it through the interface. You should see it on the AF newsletters if anyone did want a refresher at all. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining, and hopefully catch up with you all soon. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Perfect.